After watching the latest Spider-Man movie, I thought to myself, if such abilities are possible in real life, of course, I understood that this was a superhero movie and shouldn't be taken seriously. But it was already too late. I already started looking for information, and what I found will surprise you. This is Spider-Man from a scientific point of view. Imagine, this isn't just some kind of silliness. Scientists are really examining this matter and even conduct whole research. So that you understand, it's not research like, I was bitten by a spider and didn't become Spider-Man. You see, nothing comes out, nothing works, not at all. I'll explain in more detail now. Let's take a look at this moment first. Peter Parker stops a train racing at full speed. It's impossible. Some nonsense. It's a fantasy of the comic book authors, and it's unreal to do that in real life. You will say, this is Carostris darwini, a creepy crawly. In general, I love sweet cute little spideys, but these things just terrify me. It's a spider species found in Madagascar, and as you can see in this photo, they can spin their web over vast distances. That is, even being on another island and shout into it, you won't get to me anyways. You begin to see how it slowly but surely starts to spin a web to devour you. Scientists having seen this decided to characterize that fiber. It turned out that the tensile strength of that web is 520 megajoules per cubic meter. Can you imagine 520 megajoules per cubic meter? What does it even mean? Okay, I'll explain. This is Kevlar. Bulletproof vests are made from Kevlar. Bulletproof vests stop bullets. So that web is 10 times cooler than Kevlar. And Kevlar, by the way, is much stronger than steel. Who would have thought, but bulletproof vests are really being tested from spider web. Craig Biocraft Laboratories has added spider genes to the DNA of silkworms, and now they make special threads called dragon silk, and all this is then sold for the production of bulletproof vests. Completely ready to test the spider armor. Good heavens! It looks like someone has already died here. I'm off. I'll come back next time, perhaps, if I don't leave the town. So this is what I'm getting at. If you consider all these facts and turn to a scientific approach, you can find out some interesting details. A team from the University of Leicester in England has published a report saying that in principle, it's possible to stop a train if such ropes are made from real spider web. But here another question arises. How to instantly make such ropes? And here's the rub. Unfortunately, at the moment there is no way. If we're talking about your own production when the web flies right out of your hands. After all, even the toughest radioactive rockers, spiders from Mars, overgrown monsters that I hate, can't do that. Believe me, if they could, I would buy myself a flamethrower. Needless to say, they spin a web, they can't shoot it. I thought. This is Cytodidae. These predators approaching an unsuspecting prey shoot a web laced with venom. Hold on, friendly fire? So I got good and bad news for you. The bad news, they live virtually everywhere. The good news, there is no more bad news. Oh, and I also found what I need. I'm off for the flamethrower. What else is there with Spider-Man? Oh yeah, he climbs walls. In the comics it was said that he can change the force of gravity between his body and his surface, which gives him such agility and strength. He even crawled on walls underwater, which of course violates all the laws of physics. But in the first part of Spider-Man, most likely in order not to explain gravity and inner atomic levels to the viewer, another explanation was chosen. We're shown little tiny flexible barbs on his fingers, which create the grip. The problem is that even if a person really had such hairs on their fingers, all this wall climbing violates the laws of physics in general. But ants, spiders, flies, cockroaches all know how to crawl on walls. Meanwhile, geckos, according to recent studies, are the largest animal that with help of bare paws without the help of claws, can climb walls. These are the paws of a gecko. Ah, such cuties. It's also called arthropod adhesion. Adhesion, that is grip on surfaces. Dr. David Labonte and his colleagues from the Department of Zoology at the University of Cambridge have found out that the larger the insect, the more its body is covered with something tenacious. In order for an ordinary person to crawl on walls like Spider-Man, it's necessary that 40% of their body is covered with something tenacious, like these insects. That is, you need to completely stick to a wall with the front part of your body. Something tells me moving around in this state won't be very convenient. My ass is itchy. Also, the study says that running on walls is quite real. You just need sticky feet of only a size 91, 145 EU. Well, finding them won't be a problem. Always, when I come to the store, these are the only ones left. Well, maybe not really running. If this junk stands guard over your city, you better never get in trouble. It's unlikely that he will ever save you. He can't even protect himself. Bandits just need to step on his foot, and that's it. They won. And finally, spider sense. Peter Parker senses danger and all that.
My spider senses are tingling. Something's going to... Spider-Man! Look out!
Victor Matvey-Vitzi, PhD of the University of Illinois Chicago, created a prototype of spider sense.
So what you're gonna see next is just one take, first time he's wearing and using spider sense. Here.
Am I hitting you at all?
You are actually.
Front, straight ahead, I guess straight ahead of me, left shoulder, straight ahead of me, left shoulder.
Microphones transmit high-frequency waves reflected from objects. Thus, it's planned to help the visually impaired cyclists, and aspiring spider dudes.
It's not ready yet.
What? I can't hear you.
You have to sync with software.
Drink with some pear? I'm excited to try it. Of course, the superhero himself is unreal, but he has some features that in the future, in principle, can be done. But at the moment it will look ridiculous. Just imagine the superhero we deserve. So, a naked man stuck to a wall with 91 size fit is trying to weave at least a bit of web. The picture is complemented by sensors that spin and ring terribly. It's unlikely this hero will be at least somehow useful. It's been Spider-Max. My spider sense telling me you should drop a like.